It's stuck in my head.
What is?
So you were blood now?
What?
So you were blood now?
Oh god.
You wanna grab your laptop?
Oh yeah.
Or try and get the statue stand up? I swear, we spontaneously despair
Just
for...
so it doesn't get near. Did you finish that?
Yeah.
Oh, so you got the current monster one.
Yeah, I kind of snatched Shannon's
Where is it?
in my pocket.
Okay, sweet. I thought it was the one that was a.
It's a recent
It's good.
I was about to say, you're trying to fight me over it.
No.
I'll fucking fight for it.
You fight for a monster.
No.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
I shove a whole bag of jelly beans up my ass.
Would you bite this bunny's head off for $1 million?
Yeah.
First one person, no. Second time person, dude, I'd fucking eat the bunny whole for a Snickers bar.
For a what bar?
Snickers bar. Wait. No, guys, please. Don't cancel me.
Sneakers. Snices.
Disgusting by creature.
Snickers.
Get out of sight.
Covers the S.
Yeah, I feel like it's like really silent.
Man, he's got his laptop, I've got my laptop.
House locked. And loaded.
What?
Loaded, basically what your arsehole's about to be. I'm joking. Alright, where the fuck are we?
I don't know.
Who are you again? What are you doing here?
You're your friend, yeah?
Oh, I know, don't worry, I'm just getting sorted out.
Look at you down there.
Oh boy, I wonder if my favourite... Oh god, it feels so good being able to click that and know that it's streaming and not have to go through a bunch of shit, even though I haven't gotten a, oh, these guys are live type thing. Or
Might
am I...
just be going through now.
Tea time. Tea time. Tea time.
Might be we've kind of fallen out the algorithm due to our inactivity. Oh yeah. I'm incredible.
Oh my god, dude, please.
Dad comes home only to find fucking half the cheese is missing.
Fine, maybe.
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 I thought he makes you pay for it.
Bruh.
Yeah, I think these ones are a lot better than last time.
Mm.
Oh, Shan said the stream gets a bit laggy occasionally. Let me check the Wi-Fi.
It is a bit, yeah. I've seen.
2 bars.
Is Shannon our official tech support?
Yeah.
Sweet.
God knows she gives me all the support I need in life.
Make sure it's sounding and looking okay.
Unless you make me want to fucking kill myself.
In the best way possible.
That's me. Eats.
So, how is everyone? No, Mike, how are you? My fellow host of the Tea Time podcast.
Feels so weird calling it that.
I'm never calling it that again.
My arm is dying. A lot.
Oh, yeah.
Cat. I'm gonna get shredded.
Hey, just got this COVID vaccine.
No. Just, and it felt like absolutely nothing.
Yeah, he started climbing on the fucking walls. He grabbed my nutsack.
I sat there, I was
He
like, I sat there 'cause I thought it was going to be like, they stab it in really deep, like for 2 seconds, rip it out. But no, they literally went, it's like England.
You were expecting a Doom execution.
Basically. And what they did is they basically just went,
They
even that, it was
expected-
a little,
You were expecting like between like one of those fucking little like what arachnotrons, some shit.
it's like if you were like following around with something.
They
You know,
blow the turret off of your head.
Yeah.
And then grab your fucking like.
part of it. But yeah. What we'll do is we'll sacrifice my phone, your laptop, and our laptop, and we'll make a hotspot connecting all the way around. We'll have one right outside there, or right out of the kitchen.
Ritual circle.
One right outside there, probably my phone, and then we'll have your laptop like right in here, and then we'll have it connected to there.
We'll have like a fucking ritual star.
Gotta make a fucking connection to the Dark Lord before streaming. Make sure it's good shit.
Give us his satanic technologies.
Yeah. Here's a real question.
Mhm.
If Satan was to design a phone, what do you think would have in it?
That weird little loom bit in the corner that constantly snags your hair.
Motherfucker. The back of it would be automatically spiked. To be hot, it would be really annoying to hold.
The screen would attract grease. Hypersensitive screen so that rain sets it off, but only when it's raining.
Battery overheats like after 1 second.
Battery does that thing where it's like obviously broken, so like you plug it in and it jumps up to 80% after being at 0.
Motherfucker.
But you know, it's just pretending to be at 80%.
And then you put okay, it's all good. Then it drops down like 3.
So,
I love it when it does that. It's fun.
let's see. You swear to God, there's the camera will never be clean, no matter how hard you try.
You have a Murphy screen. You have that one line.
Dead pixel line.
Oh, you have that one line in the screen that like you're pretty sure it's a scratch, but you don't know, and you think you can maybe clean it up, but it is just a scratch.
You can never. It looks just like a hair.
It gets an update every day.
We should design. We should be paid to design fucking torture devices, frankly.
Yeah.
They're fucking cool. I'm on my villain shit.
Any other evil sorcerer's got some good plans for world domination?
Has stopped working constantly.
They always get foiled.
What do you mean, Chan?
Okay. Hit me with this. What is one thing that, because of course, you know, for a game to be playable, things lore-wise or logic things that should happen always have to have some form of like an opening or something that makes it like something playable unless it's like story-based. What do you think, in like one of your favorite games, is one thing some like enemy faction could have done, just changed one thing that would have made it so they could have won? One thing, logical flaw that just existed there just to be
Oh my god.
what?
Shan's fucking evil.
Not.
You always get the XYZ has stopped working message. One thing a faction could have changed to have won in a game.
Oh yeah, so there's just logical things where you sit there and you're like,
Like if this
if
faction
they
did this thing differently.
Yeah, well, not exactly that, but like, if it was like, why aren't they using this on all of these as well? When it's something where it's like, oh, it's clear for the game design. What if they did that? how much would it change them?
That is like a really autistically phrased question, and I'm trying so hard to understand it. Like, one thing that they logically should have done. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's think. Let's think of games of fantasy, yeah?
Yeah. Okay.
Skyrim. That's a game I'm deeply aware of.
So something that they could have in their arsenal. Maybe one person had. Only one person had. They didn't give it to anybody else. They could have given it to other people, but for a game standby, it had to be like that, or it just wouldn't be playable. But what if that did happen? And why didn't they do it? Things like that, you know?
I know it's not a major thing. I don't think it necessarily would have, because there's no canon like current solution to the Stormcloak crisis. But an interesting thing is right. I'll use Morrowind as an example here, right? So the way character customization works in Morrowind, right, is you have a collection of faces and hairs that you can match together. It's very, very simple, very rudimentary. A lot of the Nords would have like face paint, and it was always blue. This wasn't arbitrary though. That's the stuff called woad. It's essentially magical body paint, and it actually has magical properties in the Elder Scrolls.
Oh, really?
In the early games, it was a racial passive for Nords. I think it protected them from magic.
Interesting.
But I don't know if they have it in Oblivion, but in Skyrim they completely dropped it. Which is a really big shame because I thought it was a really interesting part of Nord culture. Because it goes back to the whole, like, kind of Celtic-y, kind of Nordic traditions.
Yeah.
I thought, maybe that would have been a great thing to have in the war, considering, like, now Nords are treated as, oh no, magic scary, Sorry, Mr. Imperial, I'm just very scared of magic. As if the fucking voice itself is not a form of... Oh my god, comment. What's that?
Justin said I love you. I don't know who Justin is.
Thank you, Justin.
Who's Justin?
Justin, who are you?
Justin.
I'm scared.
Justin, please. What the fuck is that?
Coffee pepper.
Oh, lovely.
I drink coffee now, Michael.
Okay, well, here's an idea of mine, right?
Yep.
So, this is really like the VOG. So, there's a section in that. There's a thing called a Gorgon, right, in the Vault Glass. The Vault Glass is all completely based on time, and he doesn't know. He doesn't know who he is, apparently. You can... Basically, these Gorgons, they're these little shits that have
Gorgonzola.
3 times more health than the final boss of that raid. There is at least 8 of them, and they can delete Guardians from space and time.
Why do they use them all?
Well, here's the thing. He's saying goodbye now. Awesome.
Oh, bye, Justin.
Bye-bye.
Nice to meet you, buddy.
That's a lovely interaction.
Very wholesome.
But of
Great
course, the Vex knew the place was being intruded, and they ended up completely defeating the Templar, which now gives me this one idea of, if they knew they were going to be jumping down this one specific hole to land in this one specific area in the Gorgon Maze, why didn't they all just stare there? So as soon as they drop down, 8 of them are now ready to delete them from space and time.
Yeah.
There's other shit like in games where it's like, oh, there's an energy barrier thing there, but don't worry, the energy source is right in front of us. Why didn't they put it on the other side? Then, do you see the problem here? Do you see why they're able to destroy the energy source? Maybe it's because it's on the wrong fucking side.
Okay, so this is door, right?
Okay, here we go. Yeah.
And this door is going to keep those invaders out, right? But we can't just. We have to put the key.
We have people on
we have
this
to put
side.
the key on the other side to us. We have to put the key on their side. It's you know.
So I've got at least 5 different like doors for this dungeon. There's no way this like green dude with sword's gonna get by. But I'm gonna conveniently leave the keys on the outside for every single one. So if somebody was to come through, they could grab it and they could like conveniently unlock every single one with really easy puzzles until it gets to me. I don't see the problem there. I don't see why I would lock the door and then put it on the way so nobody can get inside. I don't see the problem there, bro.
Yes, I'm alright.
What if my men, you know, it's a spare key. What if my men don't have theirs? You know, right thing.
Exactly.
What other dumb shit? It's gonna be something timed that didn't have to be timed. Like something where it's like, oh, you've got this many minutes. Well, it could be like, okay, instantly.
Not gonna lie, my brain kind of shut down halfway through that sense. I was making fun of Teo. Pop. What did you say?
Why didn't, after the mech cannon and reach shot the energy beam that would have glassed that ship, why didn't they have a pelican fly down to quickly come pick him up, fly him back all the way up to the Pillar of Orm, number 6, and then have them fly off? Why did they have to leave immediately after it was destroyed, the one thing that could have destroyed the ship? Why did they just leave him? Why did they leave a
Loose end.
one-of-a-kind... Why did they leave a one-of-a-kind...
Why did we leave our hyperlethal vector? I ask myself that every day.
No, this is another thing. I've always thought Carter could just jump out.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
Well,
I don't know.
It hadn't been activated yet. Maybe it would have happened like immediately on him.
maybe. Either or.
Because we don't know if like when he throws us out. At least I don't think we know that. Like if it's already started, or if he's about to start it.
Okay, another one. Cap, right?
Fucking bitch, yeah.
So, a Phantom flies over, and an Elite is there with a needle rifle. Cat has energy shields, her helmet on, and yet that needle rifle.
Already confirmed this is CB.
Yes, but
Miranda
but I
makes
just
off
realized.
with the rifle
I just
and
realized
gives
this.
it to her daughter.
Remember that just before that, the cat makes notice of a radiation flare that could potentially bring down the shields that have it so they can't recharge. But it would have shown on the outside of the armor. Why did the armor look perfectly fine? Even after that, it would have enough time to be able to regenerate that.
Maybe the flare is a long-lasting thing.
Also with that, wouldn't their trackers... That's the thing, it wasn't even a flare, it was just... there was a glassing beam right next to it. Now that can wipe their shields out, but that can't disable their entire armor. It works perfectly after
It might
that.
have a kind of EMP effect.
Potentially, but even...
In the same way that like the grenade launcher can like shut down shields.
But if
except
that was the
maybe
case-
no longer lasting because like radiation and shit.
After they would have recovered, their mobility would have been brought down.
On the other hand, when I EMP your shield, are you still mobile?
As fuck, yeah.
Yeah.
But you can see the sparks coming off there. We saw no sparks on theirs. We saw nothing when the EMP came down. We didn't see like any breaks. They just...
Down. But it's like it's still shut down. It's beyond like sparking at this point.
But I have a feeling it was...
It's been shut down.
But I
for
have a
that
feeling
long.
it isn't. I have a feeling it isn't exactly like it's destruct from the inside. It's more of the damage from the outside into the inside. Like when you end up shooting somebody, okay, with a plasma bolt, right? With a plasma pistol, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't actually shield itself. I think just completely.
Yeah, that's already happened. My little theory, yeah. And it's like lingering, so it's not gonna like spark anymore because it's still down.
So here's another. Cat has her helmet off, Surely, if that was to happen, she would have had some face damage happen. Surely, right?
Where's that come from?
When the flare ends up coming down and they all get thrown back, she has her head off. If something like that was to happen, surely some facial damage would have been done.
Got lucky, innit?
Okay, yeah, well, that's what that process is. Some shit like this is like, oh,
It was just done for dramatic effect. We needed to have the story where they each die off one by one. That and needle sniper, needle sniper, needle sniper, needle sniper, needle sniper,
try to remember something new, sniper.
needle sniper.
Something else. Okay, now here's a real one. Now, Sergeant Johnson could have lived the events of Halo 3.
Easily.
This one is so widely debated.
He could have crawled into like one of the places where they keep the fucking like
Embryo
embryos and
shit.
shit.
Could have,
Because obviously that would have to be safe from the blast.
but aren't they still being built?
Maybe brought it first.
The ring was destroyed in the explosion.
If that's how the rings work.
The whole no, it isn't the
If
way.
we just destroyed everything on the ring.
It isn't the reason why. So
There has to
basically,
be certain parts that are safe.
no. But the plot point, the whole reason why it all turns, is they're building a new Halo ring, but in the dialogue when they're walking over to it, he asks about construction, how it's going, like Sergeant Johnson, and he's like, "Oh, it's splendid. Will it be to it's done in here's like a few more days?" And it's like the flood right here. We have
Another one.
no different arc. It's a technically it's a different arc this takes place on. Now, of course, there is the potential chance of a teleportation, but on the ring self-destruction, would that work? And would he be able to get to a location where they could be teleported? If not, why did Chief not find it, but he did?
Look somewhere else. Look at a different place.
Where was there to go there?
It's the whole fucking Halo ring, mate. Lots of places.
Not only that, but it's very evident that when Master Chief was running away and he was on the floor, the entire building was falling up to the point you see his body slide down and things are collapsing.
Okay, someone found him.
Do you see how fucking far down that drop was?
Okay.
Into a reactor!
On the other hand, we fucking nade jump everywhere.
No! You're wrong!
Yes, we fucking do.
He is a Spartan 1. He is very based, but he doesn't have Spartan armor.
Johnson is a oh.
He's one of the very few of it, but it was covered up by Oni as we don't want to talk about this. But,
Like most things, governments
That's-
in these games do.
but of course, people loved Johnson so much that they had to bring them back for the second. I was like, oh yeah, fuck yeah.
He's a Spartan 1. Spartans never die. You idiot! Spartans are never dead. They're just missing in action. Dumbass. Small cock. No penis. No balls. And probably no butthole too, because this thing feeds off of radiation. This is why I slap my dick and call you retarded.
Okay, here's another thing.
Yeah.
On
Cool.
the invasion in Halo 1, it's in lore confirmed that the Orbiter, the Orbiter, literally that one before he was the Orbiter, Belmodar, I think is his real name, was the commanding of. He literally he was the shipmaster, higher than that actually. I think he was a fleet master. And he was to order the attack on Reach. So the Orbiter was the person who attacked Reach, and he was responsible for the destruction of the Pillar of Autumn, along
Yeah.
with the first Halo ring.
Good lad.
Um,
Not a good thing, but well done.
but of
you did
course,
well.
he was being manipulated. Everybody was.
Yeah, he did his job
Thousands
well.
of years. He did his job incredibly well. But of course,
Terrible job, but very well done.
why is it that his fleet, when he attacked Reach, consisted of everything else they basically had, but skirmishers, brutes, drones, a bunch of different fucking weapons and vehicles. But now when he goes over and takes how many we don't see the amount of ships, but we know it's a lot. We get to only see one ship and that's for a mission. Of course, it's like an old game as well. But why would the brutes now be gone? The drones and a bunch of their weapons and vehicles. The reason they used it for the lore is his fleet was they weren't as powerful. Like they didn't have.
He's a racist.
Okay, understandable.
Simple solution.
They didn't have.
He's racist.
They weren't that high of a funding for that one, but it was like, but he was the dude that led the attack, and he was confirmed to be on that first Halo ring. So why did their funding suddenly drop in between fucking flights?
Because he doesn't like brutes.
Did they have to like decide which weapons were good enough and throw them into a fucking like energy core to fucking power up or some shit?
Okay,
Along with the brutes and the drones.
Okay. Halo Reach is before Halo 1, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, maybe. After becoming Arbiter.
Halo 1 is the reason why he becomes the Arbiter in Halo 2. Because it was his mission to secure the ring and ends up getting blown up. So he's called Heretic and sentenced to death, but they end up turning him to Arbiter, basically saying you're going to die, but it's going to be for our cause. If you want to, you cannot be forgiven, but
if you're turned into an Arbiter, you're forced to be a martyr for the cause.
Yeah, the Arbiter actually being the leader of the elites and showing a great thing of heroism.
What about the time between Reach and Halo 1, though? This stuff we don't know.
The time between Halo Reach and Halo 1. Well, the end part of Halo Reach, we know that events of Halo Reach took over a week. All those events happened over a week. And we also know that the Pillar of Autumn, it jumped straight to Halo, which is so convenient. They got as far away as they could, and at the end of Halo Reach's credits, you can see it approaching the original Halo ring, and then they used to have the Bungie credit. It was like, oh, thank you for being a part of our journey and all that.
Wait, so you tell me fucking Master Chief was there? Like, near Reach?
Yeah. Master Chief's, origins take place on Reach. He was trained on Reach.
Where the fuck was he?
Where the fuck was he? He must have been doing other operations on a different part of Reach.
Well, he better have been.
He definitely wasn't.
Fucking better have been.
Trust me, I've read the novels.
Okay, so he was doing shit on Reach. Okay.
Yeah, while being jacked off automatically by his suit.
Exactly.
That
actually happen in the novels?
Doesn't happen in
Is
the
that
novels.
real?
I don't think
I had to wonder, is it actually
It's
real?
true that they can shit fart diarrhea in their suits and it turns it into food. I heard that aggressive gulp of what?
I just lost my
They
appetite. I got it.
I think it's either forced out, it's turned into energy for the suit.
I guess some of it, you can't recycle all of it. Does the suit shower him? Does the suit have insulation?
The suit costs $3 trillion. Surely it must do that shit. Come on.
$3 trillion. And I died how many times? Money
Good
well
point.
fucking spent.
Because what's the canon difficulty?
Legendary.
People fucking went mad about this. What's the
Legendary.
canon? Because of course,
Because these are legendary circumstances. You're playing as a legend.
because a Spartan's meant to equal up to the elite, right? And I'm gonna say in Legend,
You're fucking shitting me.
yeah, they're meant to equal up to an elite.
And there's that many elites?
Have you seen the fucking?
How the fuck have we survived?
An
that
elite
long?
is up to the size of here normally, biologically. They are fucking tall, right?
Okay, no, it wouldn't be this then. How the fuck did we survive this long?
They also had energy shields and we didn't. Well, yeah, that's the thing is, one Spartan's meant to be the equal to one elite. So it makes sense for Legendary to be that difficult because usually when you see an elite, it's like, oh fuck, I'm either gonna die.
I do shit myself whenever I see an elite.
Yeah, in normal difficulty, but it's like, oh, okay, this is your character. It's difficulty. But of course, people always question what the canon one is.
It has to be legendary. Because these are legendary circumstances.
People thought it was it was actually easy, but they ended up taking this from the novels because the mission 343 Guilty Spark, in CE, as you know, it was fucking horrifying.
Like all CE missions.
The Crushed Pelican was said to have shotguns. We can see the exact same Crushed Pelican that has shotguns on it, but it only spawns if on easy. Now, the thing debunking this is the person that helped write the novel right, that helped write that book, had to play through Halo to get an idea of what he was writing, and must have played it on easy to go and have that experience. So
What
he
does
can
it
get
have?
through it.
What does it have on Legendary?
Was have a legendary. Things are scarce, but when it gets up to really hard parts, they give you good shit. But of course, what it does is it basically the same power weapons and locations. They will have the same shit for normal. Legendary will just throw it up, but easy it will go. Usually there's ARs here. We'll throw in some shotguns. Here you go. Like some higher tier shit, more ammo, all that other stuff. That's why when playing on Legendary, when you go up to areas where you're like, oh, I know this is up here, it's usually like,
Nope.
there's barely anything. Yeah, but it's an interesting discussion, and I think people have decided it's either normal or heroic. Heroic I can see.
Nah. Legendary has to be.
Because of course, when you see all those cutscenes of like elites and like Spartans fighting, it's usually like they're tearing each other the fuck up.
Has to be legendary, but
You also got to
play
remember
is good.
you also got to remember the consideration that Spartan armor at some point did not have energy suits. They didn't. They actually stole energy shields from the Covenant.
Good lads.
And they put a shit ton of funding into it.
Fucking Romanians.
And the first experiments for that were meant to be the charging bay that Master Chief has in CE. But of course, Spartans and Reach have them. Different cores, all that other shit,
Prototype.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Master Chief has a more refined version.
I mean, that's literally what it is. He's a Spartan too. He is the Spartan, the only Spartan to exist. Apparently.
Motherfucker is a Spartan 8 about now.
Well, I think Infinite's a Spartan 4 still. But different types of
I'm a Spartan.
generational armor.
I'm a Spartan 5.
Do you think you're a Spartan 5? I have no clue what that would be. It would have to be a completely new, chemical and,
A very fucked up one.
Spartan 4's, fun fact,
They fucked it up. Things got worse.
they
I am suffering.
genetically grow their organs to replace every single one of them.
They're gonna be the best they can.
So they're enhanced. Yeah, fuck, dude. That's mad.
Imagine if you just paid to get better organs. Like, if you could pay for, lab-grown, improved organs. I mean,
It's potentially possible.
not bad, actually.
If that becomes the case, things like donors don't have to also exist.
Yeah.
I mean, they actually experimented with expenses. Oh, okay.
The expenses to grow these organs extremely healthily and have them.
Yeah, I mean, they ended up doing a thing where a girl that didn't have a heart, they actually turned a pig's heart into one that would work for a human.
Wow.
I know, impressive, right?
Nice.
They were able to do that. So the
Well,
potential
I think they found a virus that can actually change blood types.
they did.
Yeah, it changed blood types into universal.
They did. I think. Did they engineer it?
Isn't it type O negative? That's universal.
Type O. It's universal donor.
Yeah.
They ended up making it so it's and that's.
I think
it's
it
able
works
to
on
swap up.
A, B, and AB.
Yeah, but it's it's called a universal donor. It's the O. Yeah. O type.
I didn't
Yeah.
know you were a biologist, Michael.
I just know it.
Maybe I should have bought my lab coat. Are you not chilling?
No.
How do you stay so warm in this room?
I don't know. As soon as if that dryer comes on, man.
Should I turn the dryer on?
No. Yeah, but of course that is possible with the Spartan freeze. Bunch of chemicals, a bunch of fucking rage, and muscle enhancements. And then for Spartan 2, they experiment on every
Fucking
single.
steroids.
They experimented on every single one differently.
Spartan 5 is the middle child between Spartan 4 and Spartan 6 that they don't talk about because Spartan 5 was a failure.
Yeah. Well, yeah, probably. I mean, Spartan 5, if they find a completely different way of making
We
Spartan,
don't talk. It's all classified because dig on what came out of that. was
currently Spartan 4s are perfect, but that's because their survival rate is incredibly high compared to Spartan 2s, where only I think 20% out of 100
survived creation or survived operation.
Okay, now I think 43% of all of them made it up to the No, okay, so they had 140 32. I'm gonna say 173. That's a big gap, but it's
That's a fucking
it's
huge gap.
either or. So I have a feeling it might be 173.
I could see that because, like, at least because with John, we have confirmation that
When-
there was a 173.
when everything was done, because of course they did trials that would kill them. They'd have to go into
Yeah.
like, harsh conditions of wild animals, tear them apart. They went from 173 and it dropped down to 85. That was from their age of 7 up to like 15, 16 of military, like Navy, like, you know, Marine training shit. With best of the best ODST stuff on children. And then they did different experiments on the different amount of them. And I think only 42 made it out.
Fuck.
So yeah, very few. And then they suited them up in armor, sent them on complicated missions with like base sets that they also customizable armor, completely dedicated to like their stuff and like what they can do. Some now keep in mind actually. I'm gonna say that it might be 43, but I think 17 of them were crippled from it, or just like they just couldn't move at all.
So
they
many
ended
of
up
them died.
so they ended up
in
becoming strategists.
creation. A lot of them also end up dying from operation.
Yeah, so they end up getting ended up the game point into a strategy or just retired.
Yeah.
Um.
A lot of them.
So then
They're well trained, but they can't do
Yeah.
shit without
So
dying.
then they put them in custom armor, on really deadly missions to be like, okay, this is what the future is. And then, of course, some of them died. Sam 074 of the original blue team ended up sacrificing his life after getting shot in the chest. With no energy shields by a plasma pistol, normal plasma pistol shot, burned a hole straight through Spartan armor.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
how powerful it is. The games don't do it that much, but if you've ever seen any of the promotional material, like a plasma shot, and not like a plasma rifle shot, will like burn through like armor and shit. It's actually deadly how fucking powerful they are and like how little they like describe how well they are. But of course, Spartans, if it burns through skin, they have like built-in like pain receptors, so they can't feel it. There was literally like one dude where his organs were falling out, but like he kept like running through on the assault and kept like gunning people down. And by the end of it, his fucking intestines were everywhere, and like he was like laying on the floor and like he was fucking mad. He was not going down without a fight. But I think now only 17 original Spartan 2s remain, put into secret operations or in stasis.
Or like Master Chief, whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah. Well, right now, I mean, he ends up joining back to the UNSA. We know that. For a different cause now, with a different mission, head of a new... The weapon is what she's called, but we call it Katana 2.0.
Yeah. So, what did they change to Spartan 3?
Well, they changed in Spartan 3. So, Spartan 3's... Okay, so... Spartan 3's was a separate thing funded mainly by the UNSC because Spartan 2's were funded by ONI. They want to hide that shit.
Which we don't talk about.
We don't talk about that. Spartan 3's were meant to be... They were going to be... something you can throw. Expendable? No. Disposable? No.
Inexpensive?
There's a... It's a thing of it won't cost much if we lose it. It's not that big of a deal.
Inexpensive.
Inexpensive, yeah. There's a word. If it comes to mind, I'll say it.
More affordable.
Yes. But they were meant to be built for suicide missions. This time, they
Lama.
grabbed teenagers at the age of 13, 14, while the Covenant War was still happening, because something in the pure rage of them wanting to like will their lives just to fucking kill the Covenant, the people that took their family, fucking like fueled them, like absolutely
So
fueled.
it's a little bit more ethical.
That absolutely fueled them to the core. So they were like,
A little bit.
and they had a choice. They were like, we can get you here, or you can, or like we can like train you and have you get revenge. And some people were like, fuck it, I'm in.
Good lads.
A lot of Spartans, I think over 300, they were trained. Some were even potentially 16 by that time. They went through the exact same training as the younger ones.
How was the survival rate?
The survival rate was very high. Now there was no.
Why because they weren't dying as children this time?
This time there were no deaths. It was still really harsh training.
Yeah.
So it was if they couldn't do it, they'd just be thrown out of the program. After all their training, they'd end up going into a they'd end up going into a space station. Actually, the one we end up docking in Halo Reach,
Hmm.
where they end up usually it's mainly chemicals that get pumped into their bloodstream
Good man.
that end up like enhancifying their muscles. They end up getting surgery done for like optical enhancements on the brain, around the eyes, neural chips in the back of their head. So AI enhancement is a potential thing, which is a big thing with Spartan 2s, because having an AI increases their combat efficiency by I think
And then having
297%.
it in your fucking brain.
Yeah, like things like call outs and like literally like it working with them.
With the direct connected to your brain, it can call out to you fucking instantly.
Yeah, shit like that. It's like
Because I imagine you kind of know what they're gonna say before they actually say it.
yeah, like yeah, it literally.
Plus, processing is simple because your brain is the processor.
Yeah, so they're batshit crazy basically. So along with that, they were expendable. They were purely angry. So after that, after the fuel of them, they'd end up getting those things put in. They'd get their custom armor. Now, once again, if you look at the Halo 3 armor, right, and you kind of see how it used to be attachment based, but like how it's like separate pieces now.
Yeah.
It was basically like, okay, this is the base, like it's a base suit. It's cheap. It's cheaper. We don't have to make completely different base models. It is what it is. Now we can put different attachments made by different companies on there, which is kind of what drones kind of actually doing.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck do you need to like enhance your like equipment? What would work best for you?
More guns.
And usually they would have people like funders and like companies that would be like, okay, this suit, we're funding you this suit.
You really saw this with it. That.
I got it. I think I got it from the idea of like Halo Infinite's armor cores.
That does make sense.
I was like,
Except ours is cooler.
ours is going to be epic.
Because we came up with it.
Yeah. So, motherfuckers. Okay.
Language.
What happened? What happened next? So, I wonder what my full name is. After the, oh, sorry about that. After the,
Michael be like, hear me out, babe.
yeah, babe. So they're given custom armor, and basically the idea is they were used for, just literally for suicidal missions around UNSC like port areas. The Covenant War was not bigger until, it wasn't as big until it got big.
Yeah.
When we got found out, and that's when they came into more action, and that's usually where the rest of the Spartan 3s died on reach. Fun fact, there are, once again, very few Spartan 3s that remain. Still some. Maybe a few more than Spartan 2s, maybe less. John, we know, is confirmed. And also a fun fact is, George is not a Spartan 3. He's a Spartan 2.
Oh, good lad.
He's a Spartan 2 that ended up joining a Spartan 3 thing. Despite being number 5. Along with that, that is also Dr. Catherine Halsey's son.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the one that captured 173 7-year-olds.
It's the my own son. Baby.
Yeah, and threw her own son in there. Which actually, he is 29 something. Which means they did a second batch after. Which is probably why the number is a bit more increased. Maybe it's not 18, it could be up to 34.
Yeah.
Because they basically went, alright, this put 2.0 with...
Shit, we gotta do this again.
They learned from it. There was a higher survival rate on the second batch.
Yeah.
But of course, they weren't as powerful as the first ones, because they
Tell me
really...
the Spartan ones.
Like, huh?
Tell me the Spartan ones.
Spartan ones. Okay, so the original thing with the Spartan ones was it was the founder. It was called Orion. It was the first innovation to make a super soldier that could be physically enhanced. Chemicals were brought in this, and it actually caused a disease, which would kill nearly all of them. And as far as I can tell, once again, some are crippled, and because they were soldiers, not strategists, they were basically discarded. But only really one actually made it through, or at least the very few that were there only 1 minute through, and that was Sergeant Avery Johnson. He ended up getting a disease that it's called a disease, but it's immunity to the flood, which is very fucking big because this is where like they were like, oh shit, we have an idea of like
Give that to everyone.
what do you call this is the thing, the survival rate of it.
No, true.
So they need to find out like, oh, what the fuck, like, what was it that like was it? It must be something biologically like in his like DNA or like something that enhances muscles that's counteracting the flood's like constant mutation.
Didn't they have to get like routine like blood like donations from him so they can keep experimenting and find out what the fuck's going on?
Kinda like that actually. They took a lot of that, but after they were like
the secret Oni vampires.
After they were like, it's fucked. We're not doing it anymore. He's really strong though, so say he's got a disease, put him up to sergeant, delete everything. This is like some like 1950s experimental like American shit in the Pentagon, like with like torture devices and shit. Like they were like, fuck it, everything's gone. Not now, but this time nothing remains besides from Johnson, and it's completely forgotten about.
I assume he's not allowed to talk about it either.
Well, he's dead, so he can't
No,
maybe.
he's not.
He isn't dead in Halo Wars 2. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
He gets big fucking mechs. That's cruel. Yeah, well... Yeah, he just doesn't want to talk about it, probably, to be honest.
I'm not allowed to.
Oh,
I
no.
imagine Oni would not be very happy.
No, they would probably then be like, we need to kill him.
I think Master Chief knows.
About him being a Spartan 1?
Yeah.
He was informed, because of course he saw Avery back after Halo 1 when he made it back to Earth, and he pointed the gun at him, and I was like, the fuck? And he was like, oh, calm your fucking neck. You know, classic Avery Johnson fucking talk, and basically said that he found another thing, and despite around the end of the game.
I can imagine Master Chief knowing things he probably shouldn't know.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Why is Master Chief so powerful?
why is it so powerful?
Like, beyond being just a Spartan 2.
This is the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah?
No, not really. So do you know how 7's a lucky number?
You're fucking shitting me.
He's 117. The start of the start of the third one, the third Halo game. Cortana's got a little epilogue, and she's like, "I saw over all the Spartans. I trained you, made sure you had like you're like the one that needs to be, and like I picked you, and it's because I saw something that you had that they didn't. That was luck.
You're fucking kidding me.
I mean, he was an amazing leader. He was strong. He was fit to be a Spartan. He fucking beat the fuck out of children when he was younger. He was rough.
Good lad.
He was really fit for his age, and he also made it through all the experiments. He was the one that like took the least amount of damage, and everything he's done, he's always done it by a sliver. Things that should be impossible, like blowing up entire Covenant ships. It's just something weird. And do you know what the thing with that is? It's because he's a descendant of the Forerunners. All humans are. They're the descendants of Forerunners. The Forerunners planned out. The Forerunners know that, at least very few, that the humans should deserve the mantle of responsibility.
Did they like pre-plan that Master Chief would exist
Yes.
and that he would be this fucking good?
The librarian predicted, designed Catherine Halsey existing, her concept of her armor, her creation, and it's all to stop the Forerunners in the future. Very few gathered together, made the exact same combination of enzymes, all out of luck, because humans should probably be dead.
Luck, as in, we already knew that you'd do this.
And that's the thing too, is the reason why Halsey ended up choosing them is because they had matching there was a code in like their DNA which was always like potent in children, like in unique pieces of DNA which might have been things like the ancient Foreigners thing that gave them like those enhancements and shit, and that's why they were chosen. Also with the fact that she was like, oh, children are easily adaptable.
Yeah.
She's right. I'm not gonna complain. She's right. Trying to like teach someone who is 18 compared to someone who's like young and that's all they know is like, I'm just saying. So she made the right call and humanity saved, but and like I don't know, man. It was a smart choice in her, right? But at the same time, she's now a criminal. She's like, these are war crimes.
Yeah.
What she did wasn't war crimes, and
It's beyond war crimes.
Despite
It's
her-
like actual humanitarian
despite
crimes.
her being like,
It's crimes against humanity.
if I didn't do this, all of your highest commanders would be dead, and the technology we would have wouldn't be where it were now. We'd all be gone. Well, she's got a point.
Mm.
Like it's hard to say. So that's fucking weird. But yeah. Oh god. Yeah, so that's literally the thing that he has. Luck. That's how he gets through everything. That's why he's so quote unquote powerful. He has to do it. All the others got interesting things too. Like Linda, her reflexes are insanely, literally insane. She's a sniper for a reason. She can fucking hang upside down and snipe an elite out of a banshee.
Yes, I'm gonna.
Okay, I want to see you do that. Spartan Linda without armor. Oh, with armor could run up to 70 miles per hour. Fast. Think 40 or 50 without the armor.
Right, no, there's no sprinting.
Damn. Well, the whole reason that
Let's hope she can walk fast.
the whole reason there isn't sprint is it's because it's like they have to keep a constant state of energy.
On the other hand, it's a battlefield.
But that's why they ended up making sprint an armor ability, so it's like they can overload it. So they can go for short bursts of sprinting before like recovering and like keeping it constant, so they can get that thing. And
They didn't think of it yet.
Basically, I mean, how weird would it be if they added sprint like Halo 2 or 3?
Halo CE is just.
Just
Was sprinting really a thing in games back then? As much?
No,
No.
not at all. It was move the flex forward. That's as fast as you're gonna go.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing with sprinting is you can move quicker, but things with your weapons are lowered down because of that, and you're gonna have to recover from that sprint, and you can only do it for some amount of time, and you might have a.
And now, if you're nowadays in fucking like Warzone, you
And
have
now
like,
for
two different
Halo,
types of sprint.
for Infinite, for Infinite, there's what? Your sprint is only 1.5. 1.5 is only like 15% faster than what your walking speed is.
Mm.
But as soon as you press the RT button, you're gonna instantly fire. You're like there's no downside to sprinting in that game.
Good lads.
So it doesn't break the movement thing. Like people are like, oh no, it's like no, it's fine. And that's the thing. People are like, oh, sprint's too slow, but it's like,
Shoot instant.
shut up.
Silence one.
It was so funny watching people go to like Twitter and be like, oh, Halo Infinite's so good, but I wish I could spawn with a commando and a grapple shot. Shut the fuck up. Call of Duty game of silence.
Make it a game mode. Make an infinite.
Of course
grapple
they're gonna
game
make an infinite grapple game mode. People fucking love that shit.
Infinite grapple, special maps for it where like it's made for you to swing around. Airborne combat.
I mean, when Forge happens, you can imagine the amount of parkour maps they're gonna make.
A little bit of cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be really fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Fun fact, yeah. Call of Duty carried into the grappling hook faster.
Which one?
Advanced Warfare.
Wait, grappling hook?
Yeah, they had a grappling hook in Advanced Warfare.
But I had it on the 360, didn't have it online, so I played against bots. I cannot remember the grappling hook.
See if I can find it. Oh, I bit my tongue.
I mean, even then, like, okay.
Yeah.
Just because one game's done it doesn't mean that.
No other game can do it. No other.
I find it really funny how Infinite
I
Warfare.
slammed my penis in the corridor.
I found my penis in the car door. You slammed your penis in the car door.
I slammed my penis in the car door. You slammed your penis in the car door.
Anderson?
I don't know if the grappling hook was even that good. Though. Yeah, Exo Grapple. Yeah, it was DLC. Sounds DLC.
Oh. Okay. I've
Grapple,
got this app at least 50 times.
grapple hooks for the
My
dog's fucking
mouse is so fucking big.
Because I think it's cool because it inverts colors.
So they did have it.
Oh, never mind. It was kind of sick. Oh wait, never mind.
Uh,
Oh wait, you can latch to walls.
that's a bit busted. Oh, for a certain amount of time, maybe. Or unless, maybe he was like, oh, okay.
Oh, that's kind of shit.
Oh, yeah, it's a bit weird.
Oh, hitting the ground though, that's really good though. Yeah, like, if you hit the ground, you get like a really quick like landing movement. If you let go of it midair.
There's
then-
no swing to it, it's only a pull.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, for the game that was around then, for the engine it had around then, that was the best they could do.
Yeah. Even though I played games on it that had swing. Like the Attack on Titan Unity game.
Unity game?
Yeah, you can actually like swing around. You'll get your gas and shit.
Very nice.
She knows. Avenger. Get fucked, dickhead. You get hit with a too far message.
Boom,
Oh wait, that was a decent move.
boom, 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 nice. Boom, boom, boom.
He kind of did something there. He bounced off a wall a little bit because the wall was angled. Oh, you can let go midway.
It's past midnight. I think it's time to stop stream.
Fuck you, cunts.
Oh my god, Eurus, what the